So you never wanted a regular type life?
The fuck is that? Barbecues and ball games?
Yeah.
This regular type life, that your life?
My life? No, my life. No, my life's a disaster zone. I got a stepdaughter so fucked up because her real father's this large type asshole. I got a wife. We're passing each other on the downslope of a marriage, my third, because I spend all my time chasing guys like you around the block. That's my life.
If there is someone right now feeling lost, there is the chance in this lifetime to still bring out the very best version of that person. Yeah, there is the possibility. But like I also said, Kung Fu is not mastered in one lifetime.
Fellas, we're broken. We need to change. And look, I know change can be scary. 1 minute, you're playing freeze tag out there at recess with all your buddies. Next thing you know, you're getting zits, your voice gets low, and every time your art teacher, Miss Scanlon, leans over your desk to check and see how your project's going, you feel all squiggly inside. She was a striking woman. Not classically beautiful, but striking. First time I ever saw tan lines. Most of the time, change is a good thing. Now, I think that's what it's all about. Embracing change. Being brave. Doing whatever you have to so that everyone in your life can move forward theirs. Maybe it's the only way you can truly help her be happy.
I don't say much to those people. Maybe you're a piece of shit. Maybe you want to be nobody. Maybe you're happy exactly where you are in life, because obviously you are. Maybe you don't have the determination to be somebody better than who you are. And if you want to live with that, I'll support you in that. If you're good with being who you are, that every day you wake up and every day you smell like shit because you can't wash your body well, and your skin's messed up because your health's so bad, and you can't put your clothes on right, you need help with that. You need help, like when I was doing, I need help wiping my ass. That makes you feel good? Nothing I can say to you.
I'm gonna see what happens when I decide that I am qualified. What happens when I decide for myself that I'm gonna do something different? You know, one thing, Jocko Willink was in here last week, and one thing that's really been pressing with me that we discussed is staying motivated. And I have been finding myself more motivated even when I do not feel like doing something to do it. That my brain doesn't dictate how, my brain does not get to choose. My brain can feel a certain way, but it's not going to choose how I behave all the time. I just can't let it do it anymore.
A lot of people out there that are constantly trying to improve themselves by looking for the one change. The one change, right? The one change in their life that's gonna make their dreams come true. And even worse, on top of that, there's a lot of people out there, a lot of self-help gurus and these hyperactive motivational speakers and these other self-appointed modern Zen yoga warriors that they're trying to sell the one thing. They're trying to sell the 9 steps or the enlightened path that's going to allow you to unlock all of your human potential and fulfill the dreams so you can live the life that you've always wanted to live.
The biggest mistake a person can do right now, no matter in which situation you are, is to give up. You might not reach the best version of yourself in this lifetime, but a better one than you are right now. The main point is to find something that you are not standing still where you are right now. At least prepare yourself slowly, step by step, to get out of that hole right now.
What's the adventure? It's
responsibility. It has to carry that ring. And it is one of the rings that unites everything, power. It's just the malevolent ring that unites everything. And so I've been suggesting to young men in particular, it's like, you want to get your life together? Take the path of maximal responsibility. Not because you should, even though you should. That's not why. It's because that's the pathway of maximal adventure. So you say, well, what's the meaning of life? It's like, it's the meaning that reveals itself when you take the pathway of maximal responsibility. That's exactly the message of the crucifixion. That's precisely the message. Pathway of maximal responsibility. And that's a terrifying thing. There's no difference between that and the dragon and treasure stories that are, unbelievably archaic. The greatest possible treasure is to be found where the danger is most intense.
Nobody else at the moment has the power to change you unless you have that initial spark and say, I must do something. I don't want this anymore. Because if somebody's still sitting there and says, no, I want it like this, it doesn't matter how many videos that person is like watching, or how many exercises that person is doing. In order for something new to come, something old must go. And that old can sometimes mean let go of what you know until now.
When I know I need to change something, what I do is I change it. That's what I do. I change it. And I've had people that listen to the podcast, and they've reached out to me over the past few years. And one of the main messages that they took and put into action was actually putting things into action, whatever that was. They stopped eating sugar. They stopped sleeping in. They started waking up early. They quit playing video games for 10 or 12 or 14 hours a day. They sold that Xbox thing.
Where you are in life right now is not who you are, okay? Who you were has created the life that you're living right now, but who you are is a different version of yourself. You have felt pain. You have learned lessons, hopefully. You have gone through things that previous self didn't know or hadn't experienced. And now you are equipped with a different perspective, with different skills, and a better understanding of what decisions need to be made to change the outcome that you are currently living in. So you have to understand that if you look at it as if what you're experiencing right now as who you are closing off the ability to make any changes to the current circumstances.
I'm going to have setbacks, I know. But if I'm feeling bad, that doesn't mean I'm doing bad. That doesn't mean I am bad. That doesn't mean that I can't still take some action. Because nothing changes if nothing changes, man. We'll sit around forever wondering, well, what if I was a dog catcher? Would I be the best? What if I was what if I worked on at avalanche, searching for avalanches and predicting them, or what is it called, a geologist? Who would would I be able to do it? You don't know. Until you say, yeah, I'm gonna take action. Nothing changes if nothing changes, man. And I'm not preaching at you. I'm just, I just want to remind you, because I've spent a lot of time in my life sitting around wanting things to change.
You could keep going back and keep spending money and spending money and spending money with no results. You can wonder, wow, maybe let me go try out David Goggins. He ain't gonna fucking help you. You have to explore, examine the insides of yourself. And what do you really want out of life? Your friend and a lot of people out here just don't fucking want it. So guess what? Have fun with your life.
I'm no guru. And I definitely don't claim to be. I'm just a man. But I will tell you this, it isn't one thing. And it isn't 10 things, and it isn't 100 things. It isn't a quick path, and there are no shortcuts. Meditation won't get you there, and neither will a miracle drug or an organic supplement or some superfood. Getting better isn't a hack or a trick or a one change that you need to make. Getting better is a campaign. It's a campaign. It's a daily, a weekly, it's an hourly fight. An incessant fight that doesn't stop against weakness and against temptation and against laziness. It's a campaign of discipline.
Like, why can he live his life normal and look like that, and I live my life normal, I look like this, but then I watch what he does. Then I watch what he eats. I watch how he moves. And those things, because he was willing to put in enough time being uncomfortable, are now comfortable for him.
Yep.
So it's not a struggle. And so he gets to walk around looking like G.I. Joe because he put the time in to be comfortable with some habits that I didn't have. You see what I'm saying? And people don't look at it like that. They get bitter about it. They look at people who are winning and they say, fuck that guy. Well, bro, if you would just remove your emotions and your self-pity for a minute and actually look at the motherfucker winning, you would find out how to win too, and it's real simple. Change a couple little things, bro. You could change your whole life by changing what you put in your fucking brain and what you put in your mouth. You could change your whole fucking life.
Whole life. When I was in Ranger school, my squad got spot checked. The Ranger instructor was looking for 3 items. One of my guys didn't have the items, so the whole squad got smoked. The RI was sitting there smoking us, and the more he smoked us, the more my squad looked around looking for someone to motivate him. The Ranger instructor shouted out, "I'm gonna bury you motherfuckers." So I saw that my squad needed some extra motivation. So I said, "Ain't no grave that can hold us down, motherfucker. Ain't no grave that can hold us down." Right now in life, your family is looking for that one guy right now. They're looking for that one guy who's strong, who's that pillar for the family in hard times. Make sure they look around and find you. These are the times right now for you to step up. Be that guy that can take anything. Stay hard.
If tomorrow wasn't promised, what would you give for today? Forget everything else. Forget everything else. Forget that there was any sunlight left. What would you spend today thinking about? Yourself or the man that's beside you? Or the man that you know you'll give everything in your heart for? We get one opportunity in life, one chance in life to do whatever you're gonna do, to lay your foundation, to make whatever mark you're gonna make, whatever legacy you're gonna leave your legacy. And it's found through effort.
Go from 3 to 350 to 400 to 450 to 500 because you don't want it. And that's the harsh reality. I can't give you shit. You can't give them shit. We can give you ideas. But at the end of the day, when I was losing the weight, I had to miserably wake up every morning in the cold because it was Indiana, November when it started. I was miserable. This is your new life. Take it or leave it. There's no happiness about it. There's no peace behind it. It sucks. It just fucking sucks. And that's the one thing, if I could teach anybody anything, it just fucking sucks. And it's gonna continue to suck. And then one day you'll get to a special part in your life that it might get a little bit better.
What's stopping people from achieving their highest purpose and potential in life? And I said, the story that they just tell themselves. And that story really is written by mom and dad, right? When we're born, you don't have the pen, someone else has the pen. They decide that Bedros, well, he's chunky, he's clumsy, he's slow at math, his favorite color is gonna be this, and we're gonna dress him up in this. Like, people write your narrative because you're a child, you're helpless. And even through elementary school and at high school, you realize that you kind of believe that story and so you create this this glass ceiling. You begin to create this upper limiting belief system about yourself.
a campaign of hard work and dedication. It's waking up early and going to bed late and grinding out every second in between. Every single day. So, you want to get better? You want to self-improve? Stop looking for a shortcut and go find your alarm clock and find your discipline and find your guts and your passion and your drive and find your will. And then you will find your freedom.
You're not a loser. You've just made decisions that have created an environment that feels like it. Acknowledge that, take responsibility for that, start making better decisions right fucking now, and before you know it, you'll be living a different life. Things will look better, you will feel better, you will have better friendships, you will have better relationships, you will have higher income, you will have a much better quality of existence. But you cannot do that if you identify your current living situation as your identity. It is simply not true. The decisions that you made back then produce this environment, and the decisions you make today will produce the environment later. And whether that environment turns out to be something that you want or more of the same of what you have right now has to do with you taking responsibility and understanding that life is inputs and outputs. It is math. It is 1 + 1 = motherfucking 2.
I can only give the pain to others that I have received already. My bones can only be as hard as I have hit whatever was hard like that. And so that means take it as a challenge. Everything that hurts you, find a way to overcome it. Everything that you feel is difficult for you, find a way to still do it. As long as you can do the things, stop listening to the mind. It's like also in the morning, at least for me it is similar like this.
There was a guy that bit his nails for his whole life, and he's in his like 30s. Hey, well, whatever, no big deals, right? You know, he bit his nails. Well, you know what? His nails are all chewed up and they're bloody and they're gross looking, and he's self-conscious when he's meeting people and shaking hands, and he can't keep his hands away from his mouth while he's in meetings or in interacting with people. But he couldn't stop. And then he stopped. He just stopped, and the list goes on. There's people that have quit drinking and quit doing drugs and quit losing their temper. And I've heard from so many different people that have implemented change in their lives.
You got to have somebody, whether it's yourself or a friend or somebody, that's going to say, look, did you do what you said you were going to do by this time? And if you don't, hold your feet to the fire. Because I mean, just sitting around dreaming someday, you know, I mean, someday I'm going to get a different job. Someday I'm going to change this. Well, someday ain't a day of the week. You know, there's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Look on your calendar. Some days not on there. So you got to say, okay, I'm going to take this small step by here, this small step by there, this small step by there. And then pretty soon, you know, we don't leap tall buildings in a single bound. We take it a floor at a time.
You don't have the right to be sad. You never even had the guts to tell Margaret how you feel. Listen, if you leave things the way they are now, you'll regret it for the rest of your life. Telling her might not change anything, but at least you'll have closure.
Wins and losses come a dime a dozen. But effort, nobody can judge effort. Because effort is between you and you. Effort ain't got nothing to do with nobody else. So that team that think they're ready to see you, they think what they seen on film, they ain't saw what film shows. Because every day is a new day. Every moment is a new moment. So now you got to go out and show them that I'm a different creature now than I was 5 minutes ago. Because I'm pissed off for greatness. Because if you ain't pissed off with greatness, that means you okay with being mediocre. And ain't no man in here okay with being just basic. So let's do what we do tonight.
The weight you have to lose, my friend, sorry, it's gonna suck every fucking day. Because then when you're 300 pounds, you're gonna go out to lose weight, you could probably get injured. So then you gotta work on the injury, and then you get even more depressed. This is what I went through. And then you're hungry because now you're depressed. It's just a vicious cycle. And if you're not strong mentally and you have no willpower, you're gonna continue falling back in this hole versus the man that sits back and goes, all right, motherfucker. This is why I cuss, because this is what is in me. This is what it took for me to be me. Sorry. It didn't take, hey, okay, we're gonna do this today. No, this fucking really sucks. This is real, dude. This is real.
The first part of the game is income.
Okay.
Without income, you don't have the cash to do the other things, to invest or to look for opportunities. So first thing is income. But even that's changing in how we earn incomes these days. You know, it used to be you go and work for a big firm, you get paid, you get the benefit. That's all going and nobody wants to do it. So you kind of end up having to be an entrepreneur, work 2 or 3 different things. The point being, if you're 20s, do all of that. Work day and night.
Really?
Do as many things, learn as much as you can, fail as often as possible. Your work-life balance actually comes out later. I'm a big believer in, yes, if you're straight out of university, go traveling for a year or 2. You know, that A, gets rid of the pent-up need, but also gives you a much broader perspective on the world than any other single thing that you can do in your life. After that, you get your head down, and you get your head down probably till your mid-30s.
How many times do you have to hear, if nothing changes, nothing changes? Right? We all have heard this. I don't even know where it comes from. I probably heard that first when I was 10 years old. If nothing changes, nothing changes. And yet, somehow we expect things to change. We expect things to change. You think you're gonna get in better shape. You think you're gonna get more money. You think your relationship is gonna improve. You think you're gonna get promoted. You think you're gonna get a raise. You think the world is going to get better without you doing anything, but it isn't. Nothing is going to change unless you change what you're doing. Change the junk food that you're eating. Change the time that you wake up. Change what you do when you get out of bed. Change what you do with your time. That's what you need to do.
There is no blaming your life on anybody else. Contrary to what victim culture says, contrary to what's popular on the internet, contrary to what everybody cries about and blames everything on, it's just not true. You control most, not a little bit, most of the things that are going to make the difference in your life. You control what you eat. You control what you consume. You control what information you put in your brain. You control how much you move. You control who you associate with. You control what decisions you make. And all of those things create a much more real reality than anything else that you could blame on anybody else. So when you wonder why it is you are where you are, you have to take responsibility for that and say, it was me, so that you can now take responsibility for changing it.
This year, we did what we were supposed to do. We fought as a team. We fought as a team. There will be one Super Bowl champ crowned at the end of this year. That's it. So the way we feel, somebody gonna feel like that tomorrow, and somebody gonna feel like that in a week. That's a fact. And the fact is, we got to come back and go to work to make sure we finish it next time. That's all we got to do. Remember that, man. God has never made a mistake. But we done came too far to drop our head. Joe, you played your ass off. You hear me, man? I'm telling you, man, don't ever drop your head when it comes to a loss, dog. Because there's too much pain outside of this that people really going through. This right here makes us stronger. Let's understand who we are as a team. Let's understand who we are as men. And let's make somebody smile when we walk out of here.
And every day, I'm set back. I'm set back. I'm set back. I'm set back. So this is what I would tell your boy. This is exactly what I tell him. Every day you wake up, you're gonna probably be set back for the first 4 weeks before you lose to significant weight because of the mind is gonna be fucking with you the whole time. There's no dopamine. There's no dopamine in there at 300 pounds. You got nothing. Your hormones are shot. You have to envision something that is more powerful than you. Something has to get you out of bed. And you have to create it. It has to be false. Because you're not it. You're a fat piece of shit. And that's the reality of it. So you have to create a false reality to live in that just to get to work on yourself. That's the reality.
A friendly reminder that in 3 generations, everyone who knew us will be dead, including the people whose opinions stopped you from doing what you wanted all along. Imagine that someone you know achieves every dream and hits every goal they have. Years later, they get old and die. 2 years after that, how much do you care? About as much as everyone else will if you accomplish your goals and dreams. Do it for you.
So you told me to go in this direction. There. Today I'm asking you the same question, but you are telling me I should go in that direction. And I said, yes, true. Yeah, and 3 weeks after, Shifu, now you tell me 3 different things. This direction, that direction, and then once again, you're telling me in this direction. And then people say, now, what type of teaching method is that? It is for you to figure out yourself after you have wandered between the different extremes that are existing. First, I push you in that direction. Then you walk. Then I tell you other direction. Then you walk there. Then maybe we change again. Then you walk back there. Until you realize it's not here and it's not here. It's all of that. That's possible.
Yep. I said it before and I'll say it again. Life moves pretty fast. You don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.
You have to change some things or nothing will change. So make changes and start little. Get up a little bit earlier, get a workout done. It doesn't have to be epic. It doesn't have to be epic. You don't have to do a 3-hour leg day, but get up and get something done. And how about you plan your day? How about you plan what you're gonna do in the day? How about you bring your lunch to work with you so you don't have to eat a slice of pizza or a damn burger and fries? How about you change what time you get to work by showing up 10 minutes earlier? And you square your gear away, or you dial in your tools, or your desk, or your workspace. That's what you need to do.
Going to happen. It has to happen. And that's a fact. Like, there's no get out of jail free card, bro. None. Like, that is a life that I don't know. I don't have that ability, or I have the ability, I don't have the, I'm not good enough, smart enough. I'm not talented enough to do that. Some people are. Some people can start at 1. Some people don't have to start at all. If you lack talent, you can't sit back and say, I'll start in half an hour. I can't do that. I gotta start now. And then after I get back from starting, I gotta start again. And then when I get done with that run or that study session, if it wasn't good enough, I gotta go back again. Because repetition is what taught me everything. So you can honestly outwork anything.
Do you know that some people's problem with you is that others don't have one? He got upset. I wish I could have been there. Because if I was there and I had been Jesus that day, I would have said, Judas, I didn't ask for this oil. I didn't ask for her to think I was worth her entire year's savings. Obviously, she saw something in me that you missed. In the next season of your life, that the person who walked away from you know what they're missing. You better do something with your life. Did you look at me? You better do something so strong and so big with your life that they have to sit on the couch and say, that's the one that got by, man,
I want to do this thing. And then I hear all these other voices of reasons why I shouldn't do it, or why somebody else will say, like, that's bad, or you're bad, or like, that's wrong, whatever. And so I think I've had to come up with a lot of these devices to get around my own insecurities, to take action despite those insecurities. And the biggest one that I think about is that it doesn't matter whether I achieve all of my goals or I don't achieve all of the goals. In 3 generations, I'll be forgotten, and the only people who were naysaying against me will also be dead. And so then it's like, just do it for me. And then when I wake up every day, there's only one voice I have to listen to.
Be the hero from here as the hero of your own movie.
A lot of times I'll be in a 200-mile run or something like that, and I'm all jacked up. Body's broken, mind's broken, spirit's broken. I start to say, what if I can pull this off? When I first walked into the Navy SEAL recruiter's office, he looked at me and said, there's only been 35 African Americans in 70 years make it through. You know what I said to myself? What if I can be the 36th? It's the what if I can pull off a fucking miracle. What if I can become someone that no one thinks I can be? And just me talking about that, I have the hair going up on my arms because it makes me just like, what if I can be that guy that people who call nigger and this and that, and now I'm speaking at Tom Ferry's fucking event.
Today, I'm gonna do something different because I'm gonna change the pattern. I'm gonna change the pattern. I'm gonna make it work for me because this life is worth living. So I give myself permission to be great. And I think what happens is, by giving yourself permission, other people see that and they get frustrated because they're like, how did he figure it out? Because all I did was answer the call to my own greatness. Your ass is still wondering where the call is coming from. It's already there. Just pick up the phone and say, I accept. When we don't accept that calling, it then goes to somebody else. Someone else got, hey, who's gonna pick up that phone? Someone gonna get that? Well, it's for you, Phil. No, oh shit, it's for me. If I don't pick it up in time, the way this works, it's gonna go to somebody else.
This 30 seconds is your life passing you by, an opportunity to change. It's your prerogative. Do you want to go down the fucking path you have right now of your life and where it's going? Or do you see an alternate path that's not flatlined, but climbing up an echelon of remembrance, a possibility where dreams exist, legacy exists, the possibility of change is within the grasp of these hands, within the grasp of 30 seconds. It's within you. You had the will. You're here. I know you had the will. You had the intestinal fortitude. You had the want of change. I'm going to be with you. I'm going to support that want. And I'm going to make your dream into reality. Stay with me.
And so what happens is people are in this small position where they're more nimble, they can give more personalized attention to people, etc., and they see it as a pure disadvantage. And so you can flip the fact that you have nothing going for you with you have nothing to lose. And that means that you can take lots of risks very quickly and end up in the exact same position you are, which is nothing. And so if you eliminate downside, it should decrease your action threshold, meaning you should be able to do more things faster rather than do fewer things because you don't have a great life or things going for you. And so I think if people flip that, a lot more people would take action because they actually realize the advantage of their position.
Hell yeah, we lost the game, but so what? So what? I kept something inside of me so bad last night, a 17-year-old child. You know about the child, coach. He passed 10 a.m. yesterday morning of bone cancer. His mama called me bowling. So sometimes you gotta ask yourself, how great is your pain? If he give you enough of the opportunity to come back and do it again. We got an opportunity to keep going, man. Let's be strong as a team, man. Let's be who we are.
So you know, if you ever gone to the mall, there's this store called Build-A-Bear. And all these little kids are in that store trying to build the bear, the perfect bear that they want. Take it home, be happy of it. Yeah, I'm talking about build a fucking bear right now. So we have the same tools to do that with our own personal lives. But what happens is the quitting mind comes in. We have to find our new norm. Our new norm is something like this. When I was going through SEAL training, it's only supposed to be 6 months. I was there for 18 fucking months. Kept on getting set back and set back and set back. You gotta change your mindset to know my whole job now is at 4 o'clock in the morning. I get the shit kicked out of me for 18 months. You gotta create that new norm. That has to be your lifestyle. You are the master of your own mind. Create that masterpiece. Be proud of yourself at the very end of it all.
The important thing to realize as well is the next year is going to go by whether you're doing something about your life or not. I mean, we're sitting here right now. The next 10 months are going to go by whether somebody is working to make change or whether they're not. And they may think, oh my God, I'm so far overweight, I'll never get it under control, or I'm so behind in my bills, or I'm so, just depressed, or everything is so out of control. Well, you know what? You make those incremental changes, and then, pretty soon in December you go, hey, I'm way better off than I was at the end of February. So you made little changes and they all added up. And if you don't, by the end of the year, you're just in deeper. So every little bit matters.
If I'm trying to convince myself, come, there's 5 more minutes, that's a bad idea. Yeah, so that's why I really got used to it. Rings, and then it's really like, in a way, I try to get out of bed as quick as possible. Then it's done. But in the moment where I start to get comfortable again, it becomes just more difficult. Yes, because that mind always wants to trick you and test you and challenge you. If there's not something that he can still readjust you. No, but discipline in a way really means it rings, wake up.
You have to forgo something. Yes, ice baths, saunas, sleep, nutrition. All this shit is so fucking important, dude. I don't have time for some of it. To extract what I had to extract, something had to give. Like you talk about you when you were younger, you would give these speeches and stuff. The same age you were giving speeches, I was trying to figure out how to say the without stuttering. And I realized as I got older that all these things are important. But for me to stop stuttering, I gotta build fucking confidence. And speech therapy didn't help that. Nothing helped that. I have to forgo a lot of shit to be as fucked up as I am to build confidence.
Build momentum. Build confidence and momentum with each good decision that you make from here on out. You can do it. Anyone can do it. We live in unique times. We live in one of the rarest times in human history where you can choose almost all the input that comes your way. Whether it's the movies that you watch, the books you read, the podcasts you listen to, you can choose to be inspired. Do that, and be the hero of your own movie.
But until you free yourself from the understanding that your current environment is somehow somebody else's fault, you cannot be free. The only way for you to be free is to take responsibility and say, man, you know what? This is my fault. I did create this. And you want to talk about what real freedom is? That's real freedom, because now you can make any decision you want to produce the outcome that you're seeking to have. So stop thinking this is someone else's fucking fault, and stop talking about freedom, and stop talking about someone else coming to save the day, or somebody has to do something. That somebody is, and always has been, and always will be, you.
Whatever I wrote and their mom wrote in their book of life, they've got all these different pages left. But most of us are always reading through those pages that other people wrote, not realizing that at some point the pen was handed back to us, and we have all these blank pages left, and we can write how the story goes from this day forward. And that story is what's limiting most people from achieving their higher purpose and potential.
This workout right here is right here in your home. You're confident, secure. We're gonna build that confidence up so we can embark on the third-party subjective natures of the world and beat them down and rise superior above them. It all starts with 30 seconds, believe it or not. Everything starts with the first step. You guys came here. You guys had that in you. I'm going to enhance it.
But they're normal people that knew they needed to make a change. And they decided they were going to make a change, and then they made it. And that is what I do. And that is what you can do too. If you have something to change, if you want to change something, change it. Change it now.
And along the way, the stutter went away and I gained confidence. And now my life is a little bit more, there's no balance. There's no balance. It's a little bit more what it should be for a lot of people, but there'll never be balance, because confidence is something that you're constantly, confidence and belief You're building every day. And so something's got to give. And I'm willing to forgo a lot of things to have that, because I know that is, if you want to give somebody kryptonite, take that shit away from them. So yeah, I don't sleep sometimes, and sometimes I don't eat the right way, and sometimes I don't do this and do that and whatever, man. But you put me in a room with 10,000 people any time of the day, and I walk in there thinking I'm the baddest motherfucker in here, because I know what it took to be on this stage, and a lot of people will not do that. So that's what it takes.
Empty the cup and start from the beginning. It's not easy to do, but at the moment it's the only way that I see how something that is blocked can be brought back to movement. You must spill the old tea and pour in new one. Then things look different.
You make those little changes, those little habits that you have to change them, those bad habits. And you'll be surprised. You'll be surprised, the little things, the little changes, they add up and they become big things. Change the little things, and over time, you can change your life. But if you don't change what you're doing and how you do it, nothing else will change.